Hello everybody, back here again for a vlog of day, and today is Tuesday the 17th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, had a decent time frame, got up and around, wife got off to work, I went and jumped in the hot tub. Didn't have any dogs this morning. It's kind of a odd feeling not having any dogs in the house. And last night we didn't go out and do anything, so it was just kind of weird, but waking up without dogs seems way more different because like my brain's like, oh, get the dogs out, take care of them, feed them, medicate them, da da da, and there's nothing to do. So kind of threw me off a little bit, but went ahead and grabbed my hard-boiled egg and my couple bananas, went and jumped in the hot tub, got my soak on for the morning. Wife got off to work and I was kind of chilling out, had a couple things get accomplished, and then was able to had a client drop their dog off, and the time they're going to drop off always changes. What they say they want to do and what it actually ends up being is never the same thing. So went ahead and said heck with it, so it's all good to go. Got the dog dropped off, and he's here a lot. He's a good dog. So we chatted and talked a little bit though, and kind of discussed things and talked about pricing and stuff and whatnot, and kind of this time of year being pretty busy, she came up with wanting me to watch her dog again, like this time of year, and I told her how it's really tough to do. I don't understand. That truck is literally over half the way on my side of the road. Like, you're driving on that side of the road, but I'm looking at the pumpkin in the back axle of your truck, and there's a center line in the middle of our road, and your pumpkin's on my side. So you're closer to hitting me than you are hitting the mailbox. But yet you still, and I'm watching him, he's now, I don't know, about a quarter mile ahead of me, and he's still in the middle of the road. There's a car coming, he has to pull over, he's gonna hit the car head on. I don't understand people here. So we got talking about watching the dog, and I said, I pretty much got a full house. Let me check calendar and see who all's here and see if I can fit you in or not, kind of thing and whatnot. And I told her, I said, I've turned down a bunch of dogs, and ironically, this time of year, it's always last minute new dogs too, that never watched before, and I can try and explain to them. I usually only take one. I'll take either no new dogs when I'm really busy this time of year, or I'll take one. But this year I ended up taking two because a lot of people hadn't booked as early as they normally do. And with them waiting to book later, didn't have as many dogs. I'm like, well, better to have two new dogs than to have no dogs. So I ended up taking two new dogs from different houses that I booked in. Now I'm kind of full up with two new dogs. So the one good thing though, the one will be here for a few days, and then no one gets here. So it's not like they're getting dumped into a full house, packed house of dogs. So it should be a little bit easier to kind of see how they break down and how it goes and the whole thing. And one of them is crate trained and sleeps in the crate night, and also gets crated when you leave the house. So that'll make it a little bit easier. If he is a little bit not as friendly or not as cooperative, it'll be easier to basically isolate to keep them safe during this packed house. So I told him, I said, because I'm turning down dogs, each time I turn down dogs because I'm over full, I raise my rates. I raise it $1, but it's $1 per time it happens. So like this time I got to raise my rates like $4. So, and she's like, oh, I thought, what's it at now? And she's still on a fairly old deal, and I'm like, it's like $20 more than you're paying now. And she goes, oh, I've been paying. I said, no. I said, you're locked in, it's fine. I said, it's all good. I said, if you were a pain in my ass, I would definitely tell you about the rate increases. Or if I was not wanting to watch your dog, I would tell you about the rate increases, because I treat my business like Disney does. And in order to stay, basically, I guess, to keep people from entering the park and being overwhelmed there, they raise the prices every year. They openly admit we can make profit either way, we don't care. But to keep you guys from showing up so much, we raise our prices every year. And that's how I'm doing it also, to keep from being overwhelmed and turning away clients constantly and filling bags. I've turned clients away. I'm raising my prices, so those that feel my service is worth it are willing to pay more money, which means I watch less dogs, but it means I make more profit. And that means I'm able to do this business a lot longer. I'm not so burnt out, I'm not so upset with it all, and my rates are, well, way double what they were. And I went a while and didn't raise my rates at all. I was like, yeah, whatever. Just kind of left it alone for a few years, probably 5-6 years, maybe 7 years. I didn't raise my rates at all because I didn't really think about it, truthfully. But like she said, she has a place that she'll board him at when I'm not available, or if she doesn't want to come down all the way and blah, blah, or she'll drop him off there for daycare while she's doing stuff, and it gets closer to her than it's drive by to me. But if she doesn't get back there to pick him up in time, she's got to pay the overnight fee, and the overnight fee is $5 higher than I'm charging right now. And she goes, that's in a facility where there's not even gonna be there overnight. Like, they're just in a building that really freaks me out. The whole thought of like, man, if that thing caught on fire or something, holy shit, imagine how many dogs would die there. You know, you feel you have a giant kennel full of dogs in this daycare and boarding facility, you should have to have at least a person on staff 24/7. But hey, I don't know what the laws are, but I ain't leaving my dog someplace like that. Never gonna happen. So, but we got talking, and I got a feeling she's gonna be raising her payment to me, but because she's like, I thought I was tipping and I'm still shorting you. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine though. Like, it's all good. So it is what it is. But we kind of talked and stuff. She headed out, got a few things done, hung out with the dog. He's a good dog. So we chilled, went and checked the calendar, told her I could make it fit, but it was gonna be full. But luckily, I know him really well. He gets along with other dogs, and it should be no problem at all. So we'll make it happen. But there, got a couple of things around the house done. Was putting together, I bought like a dip machine to basically like work on pull-ups and whatnot and stuff, exercise, like ab exercise thing for my wife that I haven't got finished assembling. I'll have it done by Christmas for sure, but don't know if when I'll get it done. Just been lazy when it comes to putting it together. So, but yeah, I went ahead, worked on it some, was messing with it. Then I had to take my father-in-law to the doctor. Reached out to a gentleman that has an old 40s DeSoto that I've been trying to buy for I think like 2 weeks now, and I've tried 4 or 5 times to go see this car, 4 or 5 different days. Like one day there was 4 different times that he kept changing the time he'd be back, and it was 4 times in one day, but it's been 4 different days. He's changed the times on me and stuff. He won't give me an address. Well, it's a pain in the ass. I'm starting to think the universe doesn't want me to own this 1940s DeSoto, so it is what it is. But yeah, I'm like, God, you gotta be shitting me, this is crazy. So I don't know if the guy's kind of mad, so I kind of let it out that I was gonna make it a driver, and he thinks it's a show car, and I'm like, okay, cool, but you can drive anything, and it's so cheap. And the screwed up part is he's actually lowered the price another $1,000. So I reached out again, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be up that way, you know, north of you actually. I normally am south of you, and I come see it tomorrow because I only have Bistro here. So I reached out to him last night, like, hey, can I come see this car tomorrow? He goes, yeah, I should be home by 3:30, which is what he always says. And then it turns into 4, it turns into 5:30. Then he says he can't do it tonight at all. That's usually how it breaks down. So I was like, okay. I'm like, well, I have a doctor's appointment for my father-in-law. I'm taking him up in Ormond Beach that I'm taking to, and it starts at 3:15. So as soon as that's done, I'll reach out to you and let you know, and I'll head that way. I'll get your address because he won't give me the address until I'm actually on the way to see the car when we're both there together, I guess. Like, we can come, like, apparently steal his car out of his garage. Like, it's a cheap car, dude. It's not worth stealing. So, but whatever. I'm like, okay. So, reached out again. I'm like, hey, I'm on my way up to Ormond. You know, are we still a possibility? As soon as I don't have the doctor appointment, I'll come look at it. He goes, yeah, I should be home about 3:30. And I'm like, well, I'm dropping. The appointment starts at 3:15, so it'll probably be a little bit after that. But the second it's done, I'll come. He goes, well, I got somebody else who's wanting to come look at it today too, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, cool. Whatever, bro. But as soon as I'm free, I'll let you know. 3:31, I get a text from him. Well, it looks like you're not coming. I'm just going to have to, I'm going to go back into work then because work called them when we come back to work. I'm like, what the fuck makes me think I'm not coming? Like, I told you, dude, like, I'm literally, like, waiting for the doctor's appointment to get done that started 16 minutes ago. Like, you read the text message. That's why I sent you. And he sends back them something about, well, work called, and I just told him to heck with it. I was going to go ahead and go back in, which tells me he never left work because that's what his excuse all the time is. But that one's getting pushed back because they got asked to work over, whatever. So, no, it didn't tell me, hey, I'm home, because last I knew it was, hey, I'm going to try and be home at 3:30, which is what their 3 times have been as well. So I texted him at 3:39 when my father-in-law called and said he was done. And I said, hey, if you haven't went back to work yet, he just walked out of the doctor's office and I'm free. Give me your address and I'll head that way. 7 o'clock that night. Here I'm home now if you want to come look at it. I'm like, dude, it's fucking dark. Like, no, I'm not coming back out at 7 o'clock tonight. So it is what it is. So father-in-law and I drove home. I should say I drove home. Father-in-law rode. And I made the joke that if I bought the car, he might have to drive the Focus home for me while I drive the old DeSoto home. He was like, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm like, you don't have a license? He goes, yeah, I forgot. So can't do it. But the car isn't registered. It's titled in his name, but it's not registered. So I don't know if he just randomly drives around neighborhoods, what it sounds like. Once every month or so, he takes it out, drives around the neighborhood, and puts it back in the garage, which is such a dumb thing to do. But whatever. Hey, everybody's got their own ideas. So said to hell that we got back home. And it was good, chilled out, played with the dog, went ahead, Decided to get my run in, and their dog getting dropped off tonight. They said they want to drop off about 7. So they said, I'm like, I got all the time in the world. Wife wanted to do a spaghetti squash tonight. I'm like, great, hang on, I need to help. And she said, cut the squash open for me. And I said, absolutely not a problem. Well, in the process of cutting the squash open, ended up cracking 1/2 in half. So now we got 3 pieces of squash instead of 2, but it's all good. So I went ahead, decided I was gonna go for my run, get changed, took off, got my run in. And while I run, I'm thinking I got all the time in the world, I'll be back till 7, or be back by 6 probably. Give me time to eat and get a shower, and then the dog get dropped off about 7. I get a text before 5 o'clock. Hey, is it all right to bring the dog over right now? I'm like, no. I'm like, it's not. I'm out on a run. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, he was supposed to be 7 o'clock. They're like, well, he's still doing this and this and this. I was going to run over while he's doing that. And da, da, da. He's not home for work yet. Thought I'd go ahead and get her dropped off to you. I'm like, well, I'm going to still run. I said, what's the, time frame? She goes, well, I can be there at 5:20 if that works for you. I said, I can make that work. So cut my run short, came back to the house, texted her, said I'm home, and she said I'm on the way. She got there, dropped the dog off. Dog's been here before. Super kind people, super kind dog. A little skittish, a little bit separation anxiety, but she's whining and crying and really missing her people because they travel like once a year, and that's it. And I'm the one that watches the dog, and the dog is with them 24/7 otherwise. Like, they go to the store in shifts. Like, they don't go anywhere without her with somebody. So kind of understandable, but she's an old dog and feel bad for her. So, but she's super kind and kind of sweet and kind of dumb, but overall pretty good dog. So went ahead, got that done. Once she was there, got her introduced to their dog. They got along good, and it was good to go there. Jumped in the shower. Wife got home from work. She started the spaghetti squash, cooking up all the meats and stuff, and red peppers and all kinds of stuff. And she's making all kinds of cool stuff in there, and looking all tasty and delicious and looking all good. So got a shower, about half an hour after that. Dinner was ready, had herself a wonderful meal. Got the dogs fed again, and after the meal, headed back outside, chilled out with the dogs. And these two get along wonderfully, so I don't really play much. She's too old to play. He would happily play with her, but she's too old. So she kind of just chills there and watches him and just kind of, every once in a while, chase a squirrel every now and then. So got done with that, headed back in, watched a little bit of Hulu. My wife was on the car. She barely woke up. I came to bed. She rolled over and made sure her alarm was set. And that's all we had for now. So anyway, that's all I got today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.